session tonight. And tonight we are going to have another educator from different part of the world as usual. And tonight we are having Learning and Development Officer Hanaa AbdelGhany from Egypt. She is here. When she comes, we are going to start our live session with her. Hello, Hanaa. I'm gonna accept your to talk with her. So when she comes, we are going to start to talk. It's going to be very interesting session with Hanaa. I'm waiting for her to join. Sometimes it takes time to join. Okay, Hanaa, just a moment. I'll invite you.
Hello, Vulcan.
Yes. Hello, Hanaa. It's
How
it's
are
it's
you?
nice to see you.
It's nice to
Hi.
see you.
It's
Hi, how are
wonderful.
you?
Say again?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm really fine and excited our live session here. It's nice to see you, Hannah, and I would like to say thank you very much for accepting my invitation for Teacher Talks tonight and being my guest. It's a great honor to have you here.
Thanks, Vulcan, for your kind invitation. And I have to tell your followers that I was lucky to get to meet Vulcan during our Relo exchange program in the US. And I have to tell you that he is one of the most energetic and sociable persons I have ever met in my whole life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I have the same feelings about you, and you are also a very kind and friendly person. Thank you very much. I feel lucky about our the meeting at the USA. Yeah, in the
Yes,
USA in the program. Thank you.
yes.
Okay, so I know that you are very busy, and we are all very busy. And if you are ready, can we start?
Yeah, let's start.
Okay, I know about you, but maybe our followers would like to know about you. So can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Okay. My name is Hanaa AbdelGhany, and as Vulcan told you, I come from Egypt. I've been in the educational field for almost 14 years now. I graduated from the Faculty of Arts, English Language and Literature Department. Then I started my career as an English language instructor for adults. And since then, I started playing different roles and wearing different hats, like being a teacher trainer, a curriculum designer, a soft skills trainer, a teacher, mentor, and coach. Now I work as a learning and development officer at an international NGO called the European Institute for Cooperation and Development. We mainly focus on the improvement of the technical and vocational education in Egypt in two
Wow.
governorates, Cairo
Mm-hmm.
and Alex.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, you are very busy and you're working really hard. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that details with us, Hannah. Okay, and Hannah, what was or were your turning point or points in your own education?
And my education, after graduation, I think this also counts as
Sure,
education, right?
of course.
Yeah, I think a turning point was the instruction design learning experience course or certificate that I took, because before this I used to work in the curriculum design and training design as an amateur, but after this certificate I started to understand more about the different models that we use in the curriculum design or the training design, how people learn generally. Um, um, I learned a lot about learning, retention, memory, designing a complete training kit,
Uh-huh.
including the PowerPoint, the handouts, the trainer's manual, the participant guide. So it was a very enriching journey. And I also learned about game design and how can I design games for educational purposes.
I
So it
see.
was
I see.
a life-changing experience.
Great experience, I think, and thank you for sharing with us, Hannah. Thank you. Okay, and you have been teaching for a long time, Hannah. If I'm not wrong,
Mm.
almost 14 years, maybe more than 14 years you have been teaching. And in this period, you have tried different techniques, methodologies, and strategies in your lessons, and probably you have a philosophy of teaching. And what is it? What is your philosophy of teaching, Hannah?
Such a deep question, Volkan. I would like you to quote an American author and an inspirational speaker called Simon Sinek. He has those four or five rules when it comes to learning. One of them is that learning is proportional to the amount of fun that you have. I think this is the philosophy that I also follow. The more engaging, the more
Uh-huh.
fun, the more interesting the experience that you give to your students, the faster that they will learn, the better that they will retain the information. So the more fun you have, the more learning that you will get.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the philosophy with us, Hannah. That's really
Mm.
important point you mentioned here. Okay, yeah, we are educators and we have a lot of
Mm.
stories in our career. Some bad, some good, some failed, and some success stories. I'm sure that you have a lot of stories, Hannah.
Mm.
Can you tell us one or maybe two success stories of yours, something inspirational? But if you want to tell about your failed stories, we are happy to
Mm.
listen also.
Okay. Um, it was actually both. We can count it as both a bittersweet memory, bittersweet experience. Um, in 2020, or it was 2021. No, it was 2020. I finished my mentorship training with Darilo. And to get the certificate, I had to work with teachers, mentoring and
Mm-hmm.
coaching teachers for at least 100 hours to be able to get the certificate one
Wow.
year after. And then Corona hit, and all the
Oh.
schools, yes, all the schools were closed. Um, Everything paused. Everyone was panicking, and I was thinking of how will I ever be able to cover those 100 hours. But I have to tell you that it was a
Ooh.
blessing in disguise. I started working with the teachers online. I started empowering teachers and educating them and coaching them through their online journey, because before Corona, people had very limited to no experience with the digital platforms and online learning and Zoom and so on. Um,
Yes.
and so I started posting, giving posts, writing posts, giving advice, tips and tricks, hosting fellow teachers to talk to the audience, to our
Uh-huh.
followers about online teaching, starting from how to download Zoom and how to log into Zoom, and up to using Kahoot quizzes and quizzes and Google Classroom and so on. And I actually covered more than 100 hours. And
Oh,
it was a
wow.
fruitful experience for me and for the teachers that I worked with.
Wow. It's really a hard time to do that. I still remember about the pandemic time.
Yes.
It was really difficult for all of us. But they are lucky that you had you there, as their teachers. So it's great for them. They're lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, you successfully completed. All right, Anna. So what I'm gonna ask you that if I'm not wrong, you have a Facebook page, Brainy Teacher.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
I really wonder what's that page and what's the aim of it and what kind of things you are doing there? How does this page help to the teachers or educators? Can you tell us about it a little bit?
Yeah. So here in Egypt, our native tongue is Arabic. So if you know some English or if you are a teacher of English, you will have enough access to the most of the educational resources over there in the internet. But what
Oh,
if you are a teacher of Arabic or art or science or social studies and you do not teach in English or you do not speak English? Um, you will be a little bit lost and you will not find enough resources to help you out there. So I
oh, I
started
see.
thinking of yeah, so I started thinking of creating this page. It's called the Brainy Teacher, in which I try to make the educational content available for all the teachers, but in Arabic. And it's also in Amiya or in colloquial Arabic or in simple Arabic. So any teacher can use the information there. We have posts, we have a podcast now that I started, inspired by you, Vulcan. We have
Good luck.
yeah, we have free online sessions, we have tips and tricks, we have reflections and shared experience. So it's like an open platform for all the teachers out there who do not speak English or who do not teach in English, and also for those who speak and teach in English.
It's great. Great, great. Do they need to subscribe or do they need to pay anything to follow your page
No,
or it's free?
no. It's an open page. I can write it here in the chat box. It's Brainy
Sure.
Teacher. But I think it would be useful for those who only speak English, sorry, who only speak Arabic or understand Arabic because the
Oh.
content there is in Arabic.
Oh, I see. Okay, Anna. Thank you. Thank you very much, Anna. And what I'm gonna ask you that, we are educators, we are teachers. The teachers, they need to have some qualities and skills to do this job, all right? Especially English teachers, we need to be really, the creative, and we need some qualities, we need some skills to do this job. And for you, as an experienced teacher, what are the most important qualities and skills an English teacher or language teacher should possess?
So I will mainly focus on one quality, which is being good readers.
Mm-hmm.
So as teachers, we should be leaders, and leaders are always good readers. I will always remember this advice from one of my mentors that I should dedicate 1 hour daily reading about anything related to my field. So since then, I've been following this routine, and it has changed my life. Um, Imagine how many ideas will you get after this hour of reading. Let's imagine that, or let's assume that you only get one idea
Uh-huh.
per day. Imagine how many ideas will you get by the end of the week, by the end of the month, by the end of the year.
Wow.
So I encourage all the educators out there to start a reading routine. If 1 hour is overwhelming for you, start building many habits. Start with 15 minutes or 30 minutes. If you do not like reading very much, try to vary your tools. One day read an article, the other day watch a YouTube video, a third day join Vulcan and listen to his channel. So dedicate at least 30 minutes every day, and it will work like magic.
I'm sure it will. It will. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hannah. So I know that you are very busy, Hannah. But what I want to ask you, what are you doing right now for your job? Have you got any projects to follow, or are you planning to do anything special?
I am currently preparing for the entrepreneurship training for our
Oh.
students.
Mm-hmm.
It's a boot camp. It's a 7 day intensive program. Students learn about what is entrepreneurship, the qualities of entrepreneurs, the business model canvas, and in the final day, they pitch their own projects. So this is what
It's very
I'm
interesting.
focusing on nowadays.
Mm. And I think it takes a lot of time to do it, huh?
Yes, especially in the design phase.
Okay, good luck then. Good luck. Good luck. All right. So what I'm gonna ask you another question is, sometimes we are very, the busy with a lot of things, and especially with our work, and sometimes we get bored and we don't want to go, and we say, okay, I don't want to go today. But as a teachers, we have no choice to do that because our students and they're waiting for us. So when you think about yourself, what is your biggest motivation to go to school or job every day?
Um, I think my work is very much related to my passion about education and learning and dealing with teenage students. So I think this is my biggest motivation that I'm doing what I love. That's
That's
it.
why
As
it
simple as
motivates
this.
you. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Great. And some another question about with the motivation. Sometimes teachers, they really, they get tired of trying to, to motivate their students, all right, to learn a new language. But as an experienced teacher, what do you suggest them to motivate their students to learn a new language? What are your suggestions? And also, can you give us an example from Egyptian students? How do you motivate Egyptian students to learn a new language?
Okay. I think students are students everywhere, whether they
Yeah,
are in Egypt or Brazil or
definitely.
in Turkey, they are students. I think it's wise to balance between the internal motivation and the external motivation. So it's good to give your students awards, prizes, sweets, certificates, stickers, and at the same time, you have to focus on their internal motivation. You
Mm-hmm.
have to link the lessons or the games or activities to their interests, to their learning styles. Maybe you have to engage their curiosity during learning. Free choice is also a good motivator. Give your students choices. Would you like to do this activity or that? What
I
would
see.
you like to do the next class, for example? Engage your students in challenges, tasks, competitions. This also motivates the students very much. So, in a nutshell, try to balance between internal motivation and external motivation and spend some time to know your students and try to ask them about their motivation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. And again, my next question is also about the students, but the Egyptian students.
Mm.
Uh, when you think about your lessons, what are the challenges to teach English to Egyptian students for you?
Okay. Um,
I know it's
one of
difficult
the
question.
biggest challenges, yeah, one of the biggest challenges is the number of students in each class because in the average class, we might have 40 to 50 students. And in
Wow.
some, yeah, and in some disadvantaged areas, you might have 120 students crammed in one class.
Oh my God.
So yes, so that's a huge challenge. Teachers are trying their best using the available resources, but it will remain as a huge challenge over there. Another challenge is that we are going through a shift these years because we have what is called the 2.0 curriculum, which is the new English language curriculum applied in our schools. And there is a huge shift in the culture, in the teaching style, in the teacher training. And as you know, always each change comes with its resistance. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
huge resistance from the part of the teachers, the parents, and the students. But I think things will take their time and things will get better, but with the large number of students, we still have lots of things to reflect on.
Wow. It's really hard. It's really hard for them, definitely, especially for the teachers. And let me connect this with another question. What about their well-being, Hannah? With the hundreds or 40 or 50 students in one classroom, and what do you think about the teachers' well-being? What can you say about it? That well-being is really important, not only for students
Yeah.
but also for teachers. But in this
Yeah.
crowded classes,
Mhm.
well-being it takes a really important point for them. So, but what can
Mhm.
you say about it?
I always receive those comments, Vulcan, the teachers are burnt out. They are thinking of making a career shift. They are stressed out most of the time. So it has a negative effect on the teachers, of course.
Mhm.
What
So,
we are
and
trying to do is to coach the teachers, to give them some tips and tricks, to tell them more about self-care and the idea of putting your oxygen mask first if you are not. Yes, that you need to be okay at first to be able to help your students. We are trying to do our best. And I have to say that the teachers in Egypt are trying to do their best also.
mm-hmm. So it's really, I'm sure that it's really difficult to
Yeah, it's
cope
very
with all these
challenging.
problems, but I'm sure that
Mhm.
we are educators. We find a solution. We try our best
Yeah.
wherever we are. So good luck for all of us.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hannah, there are a lot of new beginners. There are a lot of new teachers all around the world, not
Mhm.
only Egypt, here and other countries. So, as an
Mhm.
experienced teacher, what advice would you give to new or aspiring English language teachers, or generally teachers who are just starting their
Mhm.
teaching careers?
Okay, so bluntly speaking, they have to know that the first year is the hardest. And they have to know this and they have to accept this to be prepared for what is waiting for them. Um, I also advise them to seek for help when needed. So if you feel that you need help, please ask for it. Maybe it's a senior teacher, a fellow teacher, a mentor, a supervisor. Um, all of us needed this help at a certain point. So go and ask for help. Um, and I also encourage to adopt the trial and error mindset. Um, Go there, try, learn from your experience, take your time to make mistakes and to learn and to reflect. Because this is the normal curve of learning. You have to make mistakes to be able to reflect and to learn from them. And finally, I advise novice teachers to follow and to read the teacher's book or the teacher's guide.
Uh-huh.
Um, so start by doing this. Start by the basics, by reading the teacher's book and by following it as is. After this, you can do what we call as sourcing the material. You can select, adapt, replace, supplement. But first start with the imitation phase and then you can level up to the creation phase.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. There's a nice comment here from Azra. If I had a teacher like you, dear Hannah, I never will have stress. You have amazing ideas. Nice
Thank
comment.
you. Azra, her name is Azra.
Yeah, Azra. Azra,
Thank you,
her name is
Azra.
Azra. Okay, thank you very much. What I'm gonna ask you that if we were together, as you know, that we have attended TESOL Exchange Program 2024 in San Diego and in Tampa, Florida, and for almost 2 weeks. So when you think about, we had a very educational weeks over there. So when you think about that times, what was your best takeaway from TESOL Exchange Program, Hannah?
Okay, so the main highlight for me was discovering the trauma-informed instruction and trauma-informed teaching.
Uh-huh.
I learned a lot about what is trauma, different kinds of trauma, having the mentality of assuming trauma, how trauma affects the brain, and consequently how does it affect learning, and how can we as educators adopt different techniques and practices that can help our students who have experienced or are still experiencing trauma.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
since then, actually, I've been reading a lot. I've been delivering workshops and awareness sessions through my page and through my NGO to partner NGOs and to my fellow teachers to raise their awareness about this idea, because it is really important in our context. Um,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes, especially in my NGO, we work with disadvantaged students. So when you assume trauma, you know that all your students have experienced this at a certain point of their life. And I've also read that if you have a kid who has experienced trauma or who is still experiencing trauma, he or she will need only one adult to help him or her out of this. So I encourage all of us to be this adult who will get this struggling kid out of his or her trauma.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you. And when you think about this TESOL exchange program, Hannah, how has it changed your education life? Has it affected your education life or career?
Uh, as I told you, it was an eye opener that there are lots of things that I need to learn more about, like trauma, like social emotional learning. I started learning more about yoga. I took a course in yoga fundamentals. Um, so
Great.
it gave me this push that there are more to discover.
Mm-hmm. I see. It's wonderful. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah, for sharing your experiences with us here. The time flies and year passes so quickly, Hannah. So, how do you see yourself in 10 years? Will you still be a trainer,
Oh.
teacher, or will you try another job?
I'll keep wearing the different hats, the teacher trainer, the mentor. But maybe after 10 years with more experience, I'll be a program manager or a country director
Wow.
in the development field.
I
Um,
hope you
I'll
will.
be, yeah, I'll be a certified yoga instructor.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, an author or an influencer, and a caring mother.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Wonderful. I hope you will do all of them. Oh, great. And so it says here, congratulations, you are doing very successful work as a very young teacher. Yeah, we are young. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, Anna, there are times in our life that when we face some difficult moments, and at that moment, sometimes we say, "Oh, I wish I could have kind of death superpower so I could easily solve my problem." All right. So
Mm.
when you think about this in your classrooms, if you could have one superpower to use it in the classroom, what would it be and how would it help you?
I think it would be having the superpower to protect my students everywhere.
Wow,
Because
nice.
once they are outside my classroom, they are outside my circle of control. Um, so maybe if I can protect them at home, in the street, when they feel lonely at night, um, I think that would be magical.
Definitely, that's a good superpower to use it to
Mm.
keep them, under your control as the creating a safety environment and
Yes.
wherever they are. It's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great, great. Thank you. And think that Anna, our interview is finished, and then you
Okay.
step outside your home, and then find a
Um,
lottery tickets that ends up winning $100 million.
ooh,
Okay?
okay.
Woo! What would you do? But please be honest, okay? Be
Okay.
honest.
I'll buy a villa and a car, a villa with a swimming pool.
Nice.
Um, I'll pay for my 200-hour yoga certificate, which is very expensive. Maybe I will start my own business, which is a gift shop.
No,
Um,
nice. For the tourists, I think you will open it.
maybe I will book a tour around the world, of
Yeah,
course, why not?
nice.
To pamper myself. Um, and maybe I will donate some money if there
Yeah.
is any money left after all of this.
I'm sure that there will be a lot of little left, and you can donate somewhere, and maybe you would like to share some of with me, just a little amount of it.
You you said that I have to be honest, Volkan, so no. The answer is no. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very
Go
much. Thank
search
you,
for
no problem.
your own lottery ticket.
Yeah, I will search for it. Don't worry. Okay, the time flies, Anna. Yeah, Tiago says, Anna. So Tiago is here, and he says, very
Hello.
generous of you, Hannah. Yeah, yeah, definitely nice. And maybe you can spend some of it for ELT World. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. All right, time
Maybe I will
flies.
buy more books for myself about
Yeah,
ELT.
great, great. I think you can open a kind of a library where they're full of books inside
Can
of
you
it.
see?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
A lot of books. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the time flies, and now I'm gonna ask you my last question, Hannah. Are you ready for it? Okay, and the most difficult one. Here is it.
Oh.
What is your motto?
Um, one teaches to learn.
Uh-huh. Can we have it again?
One teaches to learn. So, as a teacher, I am teaching, and at the same time, I'm learning all the time.
Mm, I see.
Mm.
One teaches to learn. Great. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a nice motto. Thank you. Thank you very much, Hannah. And that's all my
Thank
questions, by the way,
everyone.
Hannah. And Hannah, before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else?
No, I just want to thank you, Vulcan, for this kind invitation. I would like to thank all the people who attended and who commented in this live. And I wish you a lovely night. That's it.
Thank you very much. And I just want to say, and again, I would like to say thank you very much, Hannah, for your suggestions, for your advice, and especially for your time. You spent your time with us. That's really the kind of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And
Thank you
Hanaa
very much.
AbdelGhany was with us tonight with Teacher Talks 166. Okay. And we had a fruitful session with her. And as you know that we are going to be here next week at the same time on the same day every Monday at 9 p.m. Turkey's time. Until the next time, please, wherever you are, firstly, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And wherever you are, take care of yourself and take care of yourself, Hannah. And bye bye, everybody, and
So
peace.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.